This is Sarah Juree with the Circle City News, sponsored by the Law Office of Mark Nicholson. Hello and welcome back to Circle City News. I am your host, Sarah Juree. Our podcast is sponsored by the Law Office of Mark Nicholson. So I love to give Mark a shout out for giving us an opportunity to have this platform and to sponsor our podcast. I feel like our podcast makes Indiana a little bit sexier, and today we're going to make Indiana a little more dope. Yes, Yes, my guest's on today. Do you guys want to do an introduction and tell everyone who you are and what you guys are all about?
Sure. My name is Stephen Hogan, Stephen C Hogan. You might have seen my name in memes, maybe not, doesn't matter, or what I would have called quotes. We'll get into that later. AKA Roller the Kid, full personality, carpenter, father. I don't know, man. Jack of all trades, master of surviving. My man.
Nice. So I'm Johnny Mariotti, and blue collar by heart, blue collar by life. It's kind of my creed that I live by. And I got a blue collar attitude, but I have a money on my mind. So just because you're blue collar doesn't mean you can't make some good money.
Yeah.
Be an entrepreneur. So it's kind of where I'm at. And me and Stephen just, we actually met through Facebook. Again, kind of similar to your story, Sarah. You were, sharing a little bit about morning coffee. He's always got these crazy memes going on his Facebook page. He's like, who is this cat? I kind of like what he's about and what he stands for and some of the things he's talking about, because I really resonate with a lot of that. And so as we started going, I hit him up like, yo, dude, what's up with this? We were friends, and it turns out just for whatever reason, a lot of our mutual friends, we have a lot of mutual friends we didn't know. They happen to all be female. Don't ask. I don't know why, but they were. It is how it is. But we just.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll spill more of that tea later, but yeah, just to get into things. But yes, we do tend to have a lot of mutuals that also tend to be females. I could give a million reasons why that is. I don't know. That's for the females to end up saying for themselves. But yes, we did meet through that, and then I don't know. As far as him, I also felt like he was a hustler. He was consistent in the things that he showed, but maybe more importantly, he was a father, right? And so that he had these ambitions and that he did all these things, but he was also a dedicated father, was actually the type of people I was looking for, wanted around me, wanted to be able to help represent, right? And hear their stories and let them represent what I felt like I believed in as well. So I think together we both decided that we're personalities, we've got this character, and maybe we should merge these things together and put this show that we're calling Dope Souls together. Now, on top of that, I do want to say that though there's two of us sitting here, we're actually pretty deep. There's actually, like I said, we got my guy PG up. So we're in the basement right now. This is technically our studio. We got our guy PG up there. We got my brother Shaw. He's got people in that he's connected with. And so to me, it's a bigger community than just us two sitting here. While we're representing it right now, trust me, we're only doing our best to represent what I would consider
family.
Yeah, across the world, to be honest with you. So I don't know. But all right, all that and get to it, crack it.
Yeah, that's okay. I found Stephen on Facebook. Somehow we became Facebook friends as well. And he would always share these beautiful quotes and ideas just on resiliency and positive attitude and this idea of dope souls. What does that mean to you? What is your brand? What is your business? And what do you want to do with that? What does that mean to you?
So I don't want to cheat for the audience because we had this conversation earlier. So if it sounds like I've said it before, it's because I have. We literally just talked about it. But I don't know. Dope Souls to me is about connecting people right through self-empowerment instead of right. I mean, there's spirituality. There's a lot of different ways that people can connect with the universe. But I want people to first learn how to connect with themselves, and through that self-empowerment, connect with the people around them. So Dope Souls on its face, at its core, is about self-empowerment. I've discussed with you that even though, again, and I've said that Johnny and I are sitting here and right now we're currently representing that there is no one person. Everyone is a part of Dope Souls. If you're a living being on this planet, you're technically a part of Dope Souls community, right? So even though I'm here and we're speaking on behalf of these things, we are not the end all be all, right? If you're not following our doctrine or being like us, then you're not dope souls. That's not how this works, right? This is more about embracing, right, everyone's uniqueness, everyone's differences, right, and being able to see that even though we have these things, we're still able to connect on really some of the simplest terms like cars, tattoos, food, right? The things relationships, right? On and on and on. The things that are universal throughout every community and every culture. And so,
yeah, it's good people. And you know what it is at the end of the day? It's good people finding good people. You know, like really like breaking past a lot of the mainstream bullshit and the mainstream stigmas about, you know, whites and blacks and racism and all this bullshit. Like that.
Be friends with who?
It has nothing to do with reality. In reality, this is what's happening out here. Like we're all getting along. We're all pulling up a chair at the bar, grabbing a drink and kicking it. Where like mainstream media is wanting to keep us divided. In reality, who gives a shit who you voted for? I don't give a shit. Are you a good dude? I'm a good dude. You're cool. You're a good girl. Let's kick it. We can hang out. You know. So like in my opinion, like dope souls is just good people coming together. At the end of the day, you're a dope soul. You know, you're a good person. You judge people on the content of their character. You know, not on the color of their skin. Who gives a flying fuck about that?
So I guess that's really the
I was going to say dope souls need dope souls.
Absolutely.
100%.
And that's because, I mean, a lot of times you come into this conflict where people have this sense of hyper independence, right? Where you don't need man, I don't need anybody. I could do this on my own, right? And no, you didn't get here by yourself. You didn't get where you're at by yourself, and you're not going to get where you want to go by yourself. Right? Somebody's got to give you the opportunity. Somebody had to teach you, mentor you, open the door, something in order for you to get where it is that you want to go. So whether you knew that dope soul or not doesn't change the fact that dope souls need dope souls, right? So I feel like, and on top of it, I feel like it's a waste of time to promote things that you don't enjoy and love, right? Like I'm going to promote the things that I feel like are positive and bring things right to life, as opposed to promoting negativity and the things that I feel I don't want them to be famous, right?
It's huge, and that's what it is. A lot of it is just really trying to communicate positivity, and if you don't have it, get off your ass and fucking get it. Like you can do, anybody that's listening to this or ever even sees it, you know what, they can have what they want. Those dreams, if they want to make them come true, go get it. You can get what you want. And more than anything, like what's really important in where you're at in your daily life, like right now, every single day. This is probably one of the biggest reasons why I resonated towards Steve and myself, and we kind of came together. I'm really huge on attitude, and more importantly, and it might sound cliche, and I know people hear it and talk about it a lot, but like actually being grateful, like literally being grateful. Like my grandfather told me that the cure for depression is gratefulness, and like I didn't know what that meant when he told me at 7 years old. I'm like, okay, Grandpa. Right on. But like as I've gotten older, it kind of stayed with me, and like gratefulness has gotten me through some really deep shit and some hard times. And I've always remembered, you know what, there's someone out there, no matter what you're going through today, someone out there has it worse than you. Like someone died today in a car accident.
Right.
Like someone lost their job today. Someone's missing meals right now. Someone got beat up. You know, and we don't want to focus on the negative, but we want to focus on the positive and just realize, reach out to people. They get so much negative all day long through Facebook, through friends, through mainstream media. Like, hey, you know what? Let's be a beacon of light to people, and like be like, you know what? There's regular ass dudes that can just encourage, and like it comes from the heart. It's not just some fake facade bullshit. Like this is how we actually live our life.
An image. It's it's pretty much what we're like.
I tell my girlfriend that all the time. You know, sometimes she gets a little negative. Sometimes I'm like, hey, listen, look about how many things today have you thought about in your life? Did you think about 5 good things today? Right. No, you just thought about this bad, that bad, that bad, but you never stopped to think how blessed you were for the 5 awesome. We never think about the 5 awesome things. Yeah. So like try to start your day with a little gratitude, and like I swear to God, it changes things. It really does. Is it gonna put $1 million in your account? I mean, probably not right away, but being negative ain't gonna do it either.
Yeah, that's definitely not good.
Yeah.
Like I said, positivity isn't always gonna bring you happiness like that, but it's still important energy to have if you want to move forward in life. You're gonna have that positive energy.
When did you come up with the morning cup of coffee? What do you? Every morning I would read it. I would like specifically wake up and go and look for this text. It's kind of that like you're waking up. It's setting your intention. What made you start doing that and promoting that?
A lot of these things, I just do them. I don't. They just happen, right? So like, and I could go into like other backgrounds that I have, but first cup of coffee really just started because I just wanted to give, like I don't know, a name to what it was that I was doing, right? It wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm gonna write quotes and then I'm gonna put first cup of coffee and then I'm gonna promote it. I would just be like, all right, this is that, and then I just gave it a theme, like, all right, it's always in the morning. This is how I'm setting the pace. That first cup of coffee, though, right? Like this is how I'm waiting. If you know me, the only well, PG's good at it too, but me and this dog Peyton that live here, when we get up, we're on 10, dude. Like within the first 5 minutes of me waking up, I'm probably singing, right? Like I'm gone, right? So when people read these things, it's not just these aren't just posts, man. I'm really that charged up. I'm really ready to go every morning. So to me, I just wanted to. I guess I wanted to put a theme to it. I wanted something that when I'm doing it, other people could connect with it too, right? And understand, right? Oh yeah, that first cup of coffee. Because yeah, what is that? That's that jolt. That first cup. Oh, that's the best cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's the best cup. Is that first? It wakes you up and it sets the pace, man. And if you don't want to be bothered with whatever, right? You're in your own pace. Yeah, you're doing anything and you got your first cup. It's about you and getting that energy ready for the day. So, but
Yeah.
honestly, that's not something I consciously thought of. I just did something and I was like, I'm gonna give it a name. Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a name.
What
And
was
so that
the,
so now I just do it.
what was your quote that ended up going viral?
Shit. Well, technically too. See, we discussed this, but
Was
I
there a
won't go into the
couple?
one that because I'm not going to name drop on the guy because I'm not a hater and he's not here to defend himself. But he's famous and he's black and his first name is the same as mine. That's all I'm going to say. So, but the first quote that actually ever went famous that I wrote that I didn't realize was, "You can't have $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic." And I don't know if it would became famous. I think it became famous for a lot of the reasons. Other things sometimes become famous is because first, I think it was misunderstood. A lot of people liked it, and then other people were like, "Oh, what's a minimum wage work ethic? Do you know how hard people like work for minimum wage?" And not understanding that it's talking about work ethic. And two, I wasn't even when I wrote that quote. We were pretty much struggling, right, in our lives. I was struggling in my life, and so when I wrote that, my $1 million dream wasn't even about millions of dollars. It was about like my family being happy, right, and like we were at least financially not struggling, and right, I
Yeah.
did something with my life that real impact. That was my $1 million dream, right, and that was me telling myself. Yeah, but I can't do that with like a minimum, like just
Right.
being catchy. I just
Right.
do that, right?
There's always
I talk like that. So
someone can be
yeah,
offended. No matter what
yeah,
you say, someone's offended. And so
right,
like minimum wage attitude doesn't mean that people that are working minimum wage are
right,
less than. It means that they don't get paid enough.
right.
Minimum
And they
wage is
settle
a
for it,
low
right,
wage versus a high
right.
wage. Like
And
you
you're
can't
putting in that work ethic. That's your work ethic is I'm only trying to earn right whatever the minimum basically. Right.
right.
And so to me, it was like if I want these things, I know I can't put in the bare minimum. But again,
Yeah.
these aren't words. Like I'm not preaching to anyone. I'm saying these things to charge myself up, and then
Yes.
I'm just putting it out there. And so that it again, I told you, like back in the day, they weren't called memes. It was just a quote.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Like
just a
my
quote.
quotes.
And then,
If I
yeah,
wrote,
the word meme sort of
yeah,
became viral. I want to chat with
right.
you
Right. For sure.
a little bit about
What's up?
being a man in our society. And what were some of the like ideas and programs that you grew up with that you have maybe had to unlearn or challenge that programming as you have kind of grown and your idea of what being a man might be different than what you thought or the programming that was placed on you guys.
I'm gonna take this if that's cool.
Yeah,
And
you said you only wanted this to be a half hour.
man, I'm telling you, like I'm really passionate. I'm really passionate about this specific topic.
Yeah,
And I would say the reason why I'm passionate about it is you hear so much nowadays about toxic masculinity. And, there is that's out there. There's guys that are douchebags that, they think they're better than their girlfriend, or they think they're more powerful, or whatever the case may be, and they're disrespectful, and that is totally bullshit. First of all, like if you gotta make yourself feel better by pushing around a woman, or even demeaning her verbally, first of all, you're a piece of shit and you're weak. So let's just start there. So there's no room for toxic masculinity. But I also want to highlight that masculine men that are raised right and understand how to respect a woman can do that in their masculinity. So I would say I'm a very masculine man, but masculine men actually also protect and serve. And not only do they protect and serve in military, in Marine Corps, in your police officers, good and bad and different. We all know how that goes. But they also protect as a family unit. I love my family. I love my kids. I love my girl. And so am I going to, at 3 a.m, when someone starts kicking the door in, tell my girl, hey, look, equal rights. No, this is your turn. You go take it.
You got to get this guy.
No, I'm going to stand up and handle business because I got what I would call positivity, or positive masculinity. I got real masculinity that was instilled in me. That's not toxic. That's actually anti-toxic. And so I really think even part of the show, we want to talk about what it takes to be a good man. You could be a good man. You don't have to be soft to be a good man. You don't have to be overly,
feminine.
You don't have to be overly feminine. Well, you don't have to be feminine about it, but you don't have to be overly masculine to be a good man. You could be who you are and in your skin, but you got to be able to just understand that you can love and you can be sensitive and you can still be a masculine man.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna jump in there and piggyback off of that. That yes, toxic masculinity obviously exists, right? There's obviously people out there, men out there in particular, that go to the extreme levels, right? They're the hyper alphas, right? They're the Andrew Tates, and right, the guys from, I'm not even gonna name the real show, we'll just call them Sit and Simp. If you guys watch enough podcasts, you'll catch on to who I'm talking about there. But there's plenty of people out there, plenty of men in particular out there, right, preaching what they think a real man should be like. You'll see definitely as we're moving along that we'll definitely come into conflict with some of these shows and some of these ideals and some of the ways these guys are trying to put their message out for other men. To me, when I think of the issues that are going on with masculinity right now, one, it starts with leadership, but that's an easy one. But two, I think it's in the sense that a lot of this is coming from men not really knowing how to express themselves, right? I don't ever think that as a kid I didn't know that I had feelings.
Yeah. And how many men nowadays grew up with fatherless?
Right.
They didn't have an example of what a good man would be,
or how to express feelings, that it's okay to express feelings, or when and where to express feelings, or and let alone, again, I mean, you said we're only doing this for so long, but I mean, a lot of the problems we were talking about too is that, I mean, times have changed, right? Like women are having more place in the workplace, technically, are even competing with men in the workplace now, right? It's changed the dynamic of things, right? It's changed the mentality of how women view things. If you're a modern woman now, it's not just about having a 9-to-5. You got to have a side hustle, right? And now you want your man to have a side hustle, where the traditional man, entrepreneurship is dangerous, right? The traditional man would be like, a 9-to-5 is steady, right? It's going to pay the bills. It might not be glamorous. We might not be going on all these badass vacations, but our bills are paid, right? We got food, clothes on our back. That was the standard. Now you got it. That's expected. What you now need to come with is all the other things, which is the high levels of empathy and emotional intelligence, and right,
it's crazy. And just the amount of hate that's out there just for men being cis men, straight men that are not bad humans and that aren't bad in society. We're just kind of a pushback on that. Like, hey, let's just put pause. Let's just put pause a little bit. Not everybody out there is a total asshole. So, and we're just kind of here to highlight how to be a good man.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not here to tell you, right? Like, I mean, how I go about my life might not necessarily be for every guy, but I do believe that there's certain standards and values that come with being a good man and having positive masculine energy, right? There's just certain things, certain codes, certain principles that go into having that certain levels of confidence that go into being the type of guys that I would say are the type of guys that know whether there's money involved or social status involved or not, are high value men. There's a code to it, right? There's real code,
Man
principle.
code.
Yeah, it's something that you really stand on. That those are the types of things that I want to put out there. Challenge. I'll tell anyone. I feel like part of my goal is to test my own inner kung fu against everybody else's. I want to see. I want to see when I speak of soul armor and I speak of how in the process, I want to see when I'm speaking with other people in spirituality and right sociology and all these things. If these things that I've come up with really just out of instinct, impulse, and intuition can measure up to what some of these other things and these people have come up with that are authorities, right? That are real authorities, because at the end of the day, I believe that my kung fu is stronger. That's it. And if it's not, I'm willing to accept that. But right now, when I look out at society and I look at the type of leadership that are out there for men, I believe that myself, Johnny, a lot of these other guys, we better represent what it is that we believe is real manhood out there.
Right.
Not an Andrew Tate. No, I got a Bugatti about that dude. Come on, I'm not even going
to. It's not about being a womanizer or any of that nonsense. Man. That's insecurity.
Honestly, if you can do all that, it's like we were talking before. If you're really good at something, you don't brag about it.
Right.
If you really got it like that, you don't brag about it.
Your confidence precedes you.
Right.
Your confidence precedes you. You don't have to walk around like Tony Tough Guy.
Right.
You just know who you are. You just know who you are. It's totally opposite of that.
The opposite.
It's actually being cool with people and giving people common courtesy, and respect. Still open doors for people. Right. Do I do that? I do that. I open doors for dudes. Yeah. I mean, I that's common courtesy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we're trying to emulate. But at the same time, we want open dialogue. Yeah. We don't have all the answers. We're just saying, hey, this is who we're about, and we think that it's a good way to live our life. And what other bits of wisdom or different things that we can learn and they can impart upon us as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're a group of guys. There's gonna be dope souls women. I can't wait for that. I'm sure you guys are gonna chop it up hard. But it was important to me. Well, yeah, because I know you guys are technically the backbone of this community, man. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to dope souls, it's probably one guy to every 20 women. So, which is probably any strong community is going to be women are the backbone anyhow, right? So,
our guy following right there.
Yeah, if you guys are smart, you guys would find dope souls. If you're not following it, you're just hating and you're crippling yourself.
Click, like, and share.
Legit, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I promise you, we have the dopest, right? So across the board. But no, legit. But and I'm going to be bold like that. Actually, I'm not going to apologize for that because, again, I'm willing to put my kung fu against any of you guys, man. For all you Andrew Tate and all you guys that have the formulas, I'm willing to challenge you. I do believe my kung fu and that dope kung fu together, it will dominate you guys. So, but that's a challenge for another day or story.
One of the things that I just have admired, just sort of watching you and being your friend on Facebook is just, I think, the courage that it takes to really try to go on this healing path for yourself, to try to train your mind to think more positively, because that really takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of effort, and also to kind of deconstruct some of those programs that we've all grown up with, that as we get a little older, we start to realize that it doesn't really serve you in the way that needs to serve you to really grow into being a whole and empowered human.
Totally.
Yeah. No, yeah. I agree. We've had these kind of conversations. I've had these conversations with people before. And I joke now about the fact that we're so worried about AI and Skynet and all these other things. But honestly, we are the world's first artificial intelligence. I argue it to this day. We have been programmed since children, even through our DNA, to just be a certain way, to understand things a certain way, to believe things a certain way, right? And so the hardest part is coming to terms with the fact that you have to unlearn that shit, that a lot of that is programming, and that you're going to have to use a lot more critical thinking.
Yep.
Analyze.
Filter through.
Yeah.
Take what's good. Not everything that we were raised with was bad, right?
Right.
Not everything was bad. So you sift through it and you keep what makes sense and you sift through the bullshit.
Right.
You know.
And you have to learn that critical thinking. And that can go into some other things about, because you're a teacher and you're in schooling, and we got critical race theory, and I have my whole ideas on that, and actually having just critical thinking theories, but whatever. Well, these are all podcasts for another day. I guess what I'm really saying is that, yeah, because honestly, and like you said, like my guy Johnny said, it's not because we think our opinions or perspectives are the right ones. We're just trying to be real with what we've got to work.
Well, we know.
Right.
It's what we know. It's what worked for us.
So I mean, my goal is to go out there. I'm naturally curious, so you can bet I'm coming out to challenge, right? And if people are taking that a certain way,
and to be challenged.
And to be challenged.
Yeah.
1,000%.
I want to be challenged.
Yeah.
I learn from the challenge.
Legit. I want to have
like
these
a
type of
challenge.
conversations. So a lot of people, they'll duck from it, right? They don't. But no, I want, because it's therapeutic for me too. Yeah. I get to learn. It's fun for me. Because
and I think it's so important for people to be able to find different groups that resonate with them, that sort of give them that space of feeling like they belong, like-minded people that resonate with them, that are growing and challenging them to continue to grow, so that we don't stay stagnant, but that we're really being pushed to rise into those best, healthiest, whole versions of ourselves. And I feel like it's just so beautiful that you're creating this brand of dope souls for other dope souls to resonate with, that type of lifestyle, that type of thinking, because it can really be life-changing. It can set people on the path to really manifest and bring their dreams to life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Positivity breeds positivity.
Yeah,
and negativity breeds, negativity. And if we can make the world a little bit of a better place, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, even if it's a small impact. I think the thing is with this, like, especially when it comes to the podcast part of this, is that we were going to have these conversations regardless, right? We're going to sit around and talk about this stuff. Me and the guys up there, we chop it up like that all the time. So these are kind of conversations that and we don't agree all the time, right? Like, we don't agree. So, but at the end of the day, we're still brothers, right? We still, right? We agree to disagree, and man, we'll go spin off on something else. And to me, that's real life. And so to be able to show that while also showing, right, man, we're going to go eat this food. This guy made this, right? They're going to introduce us to that. We're going to have a tattoo party, and we're going to learn about tattoos. By the end of the year, I'm going to learn how to do my first tattoo or write a song, or, right? Like, so it's not just about, hey, I'm going to sit here and talk, and you guys think I know it. I don't know shit. I know what I know. That's it, right? Everything else, you guys are going to take this journey with us. We're going to learn more. We're going to entertain you. We're going to educate you. We're going to learn ourselves. And that's really our goal. Connect people through that. So create a community through it. Yeah. True story.
It is a true story. My cat's joining the podcast, I guess. My cat wants to be a dope soul.
Yeah.
If people would like to be inspired by your morning cup of coffee quotes, or join Dope Souls, or learn more about your brand, or become a dope soul themselves, where can they find you? What are your socials, and how can we help you grow your following?
Stop our Facebook page. See, we're not very good at that because we're not celebrities, right? We really are just regular guys that just feel like we want to put our stuff out there, right? We want to make an impact. We got a message. But having said that, we're going to take this serious as far, because we understand the impact that we do have. Come stop by, check us out at Dope Souls, our fan page. Definitely hit like, start putting more content on there. You can start looking for a podcast on there. So probably merch coming up. So like I said, we never went into this necessarily thinking this was going to be a business, right? This was just something we knew we wanted to do. We would do this regardless, even if there was nothing.
For the fun of it.
Just because.
Just to talk.
Right.
Just to talk.
Just to record and have the memories and be like, yeah, I remember when we had that conversation. Or if even even if it's to look back a year from now and look at the progress that we've made as individuals, maybe some of our perspectives and opinions, how we came across, and we were standing on this, and then a year later, man, remember when you said that? Yeah, you ain't talking that shit now, right? So
we're just being nerds.
Yeah,
let's
man,
be real.
We just want to enjoy it, and I feel like we want to bring that realness, that authenticity, and because we know other people will feel that. We're not. We really, it sounds cliche. We're just regular guys that want to spread this message and get other people's stories in there and kick it with people that are solid. Could care less if you're popular or you dope, man. I want to see the dopeness in you. I want to share that with you. I want to know about you. I want to know your story. I want to know how you do the shit that you do. I want to know how you work the magic that you work. And if you don't see it, then I want you to see that I see it. He sees it. We see it in you. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, everyone is a dope soul. Everyone actually is a dope soul, and everybody has the potential to even be a doper soul. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone has the potential to like improve, to be better. And who cares about your past? Like where are we going? I'm not going that way. I'm going this way. You know. So
the dopest of us anyhow. So don't worry if you're not that impressed with me. Don't worry about it. There's guys way doper than me. We're just introducing this shit. You guys just sit back. Trust me. We've got some people for it, but I don't know. Again. This wasn't about celebrity. It's never been about celebrity. You still there?
Yeah, sorry, my cat hit my computer, and so I disappeared. But I heard you.
I'm like, okay. That's it. Well, I guess that's our time up. Damn.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, that's worse than Zoom. Just kicked us right off. But yeah, I don't know. Again, because now we're just. No, it's all good. I don't know. I can't say it enough. Like I said, I mean, you became a celebrity overnight for reasons that you didn't necessarily mean to, right? Like that quote, that wasn't my goal. I'm not even going to say the KKs that shared it, but like JJ Watt or right, like Dwayne Wade, the other like individuals that I know got it and shared these things that I felt like, yeah, they're embodying what it is I'm talking about. I know their backstory. I know what they mean. I support that, but I never intended to write. And a lot of times, a lot of the stuff I wrote, I never put my name. I've probably written at least close to 10,000 quotes out there. No lie. Like I used to sit in front of my computer the same way I did all this shit sitting here now for hours, just making quotes or just typing things or right, just putting my thoughts out there. There was a website, like I remember I was telling you earlier, there's a website where like you put your quotes on there and then everyone that was writing quotes and they would like bump your quotes up like to the top, like, oh, this guy's quotes are in the top 1%. And it was kind of like, you kind of wanted your writing up there, right? So it kind of encouraged you to want to write better quotes. That wasn't like a copy of Gandhi or Hit Like for Jesus, right? Like it was your actual thoughts. So that's how I started. It wasn't like Sylvester, I told you, Sylvester McNutt's, the J Ironword world, right? Like, I don't know if they really set out at first to become life coaches or writing books. I just feel like that's not how it works. We just wrote quotes and they figured I'm going to capitalize on my name. I've just, I don't know. Like I just was not a guy that really, I never saw myself like that. I just did it for fun.
But
just playing around
so cool though, right? Because you never know where those ideas are going to go and who they're going to inspire along the way. So hopefully you'll get a lot more followers, a lot more dope souls will find you because, like you said, dope souls need dope souls. I love what you're doing, Stephen, and I cannot wait to see you grow in your celebrity and grow your brand and change hearts and lives the way that you are so able to do. So thank you for being on, and I'm so excited for what the future has for you.
You were the first person that had us on, so we want to say thank you. Absolutely, right? That you even asked us to be on here. This is our first time doing a real podcast. Absolutely. So you let us, right? I don't want
nice meeting you.
We're gonna say you popped our cherry, and thank you very much. It couldn't have been done by a better lady.
I am here to pop cherries, so write that down, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We gotta have you on our show because look, we gotta have you on our show because at least one of them, then we're gonna kick back. I didn't take a sip of beer, but our show is gonna be a little more adult, right? Because I want to be able to speak to you about your story, but I don't want to ask you all the questions that you've been asked. You saw my line of questioning, right? So because I want to get to know you more as like the individual, right? I like to dig in the dirt, right? I like to share what we went through to get there, to get to the point that we're at, so then people can better understand where we're trying to go. So, but yeah, I want to chop it up. I want you to meet the rest of the guys. I feel like we need. We'll talk.
I know. I think we're
gonna talk.
Have your people call our people.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun, love. I guarantee we're gonna have. I got some plans. So, yeah, we love you.